Daddy?
No.
Mama.
I can just see how you got it all set up out here.
We're all good here.
Okay, see you in the morning.
See you in the morning. I'm all warm in my sleeping bag.
Good. What are you making this morning?
Eggs.
Eggs?
I'm cooking yours too.
You are? It's going to be delicious.
Where's the chives?
Hey guys, welcome back. The last about week, we have been working on putting the garden up here at the little cottage. I had always had my garden on the other end of the property, and it's never been exactly convenient. We put it there because we were going to farm, and it was already cleared, already leveled, and it really still is the perfect spot. Like, it's amazing down there. There's a pond and creeks and all that. My greenhouse is there. But now that we're living up here and we have had a baby, it just made more sense to put it up here next to the house. Loading up the older 3 kids isn't so much the problem because they've got stuff to do down there. But now throwing a baby, a newborn into the mix, and I would just never get down there. So the beauty of having it here by the house is now I've got running water. I don't have to go dip buckets out of the pond to water the greenhouse, my plant starts, or the actual garden. Fortunately enough though, it rains a lot here, so I don't really have to do that too often. And the other plus is that the baby's currently napping and I'm out here in the garden. So this is going to work out so amazing. I love sitting on my porch and looking at it. My husband and my oldest, they did an amazing job getting this all put together. All we did was cut some trees down, filled the beds with compost, and I have like a small raised bed. I also had him do an arch trellis because I've never had one of those before, and they're beautiful. So I decided to plant cherry tomatoes on it because I think that will be really different and really neat. We'll see how it goes. I'm gonna go ahead right now though and plant cucumbers out. I'd been kind of holding off because I wasn't sure where exactly I wanted them. I didn't want the trellis of the cucumbers to block the view. So what used to be dense wooded forest, like what's behind me, is now a garden spot. It's going to be a fire pit and hopefully some nice lush green grass, which is why there is hay everywhere. My husband and my kids spread grass seed and then we put the hay on top and it keeps the grass seed from washing away, creates like a good mulch for the grass to grow. We've done this multiple times and it works amazing. So hopefully in a short while we'll have a nice pretty green front yard to look at off of our porch. So I'm gonna go ahead and plant some cucumbers, some beets, some dill. All that can just be direct sown right into the garden beds, and I might throw some other things in there. I'm not sure yet. I think sometimes when we garden we can get caught up in the what ifs, and what I mean by that is putting up food for what if something were to happen, which is what drove a lot of people into gardening. Was this fear that they wouldn't be able to find food in the grocery store. That was never my reasoning for gardening. I'm not afraid that I won't have food. I'm actually more afraid of the quality of food that's being offered. I don't like it and I don't agree with it. That's what really drove me into gardening. When my son was born, he'll be turning 12 in a few months. I started to really question what I was putting into and on our bodies, and it came down to baby food and what was I going to feed him, and I wasn't really impressed with what I was finding. I think when you have kids, it starts really making you think about that kind of stuff, because now you're responsible for somebody else. And as a nurse, I was seeing this correlation between what people were eating and their disease processes, and I knew that what we feed ourselves is either going to fuel disease or it's going to help heal disease. And I was not going to give my children a bad start in life. I was going to do everything I could to avoid that. So that is what drove me into gardening. I remember him being just a small toddler, and we had a few raised beds at our house in Florida, and trying to learn how to grow. And I remember thinking, like, the bigger the zucchini, the better. Like, man, I must be an amazing gardener. Look how big this zucchini is. And like giving it away to people, so proud. And now I look back and cringe. I'm like, that was not really a good thing to be proud of. But I was excited and I was learning, and I feel like all of that has led me to where I am today. And even now led me to another lesson, because life's always full of lessons, that bigger isn't always better. I had a huge garden and I loved it. Like, it's still my favorite thing. I still will one day want to get onto that level. But and as I got pregnant, I couldn't manage it. And I couldn't manage it well, and it would become extremely overwhelming. So now that I've finally come to that realization, and I'm in this position, in this season of life where I don't have a lot of time, I'm scaling down in hopes to do something small really well. Maybe instead of 120 tomato plants, I could do 20, and I could prune them really well and make sure they're really fertilized and make sure they're giving the most that they can give, versus 120 that are struggling and not giving a lot. I think that maybe this year in the small garden, I'm pretty hopeful that I'm still going to have a high yield and I'm still going to put up a lot of food. This year, I'm just going to be happy to be able to eat fresh. That's my goal. Anything extra, I'll put up, or I'll find a purpose for it then. But this is very exciting to me. I think bigger is not going to be better this year. I think the secret to my garden success is going to be smaller. I'm still going to add flowers and all those things, but this is going to be good. Now, I still am planting stuff down in the big garden. We're going to plant corn, lots of flowers. I have my garlic still going. We have potatoes out there. So pumpkins, winter squash, the kids are doing watermelon and cantaloupe, and I think that will just kind of stay those plant it and leave it crops, where up here will be the stuff that I need to kind of harvest regularly and manage, or as I'm cooking I need something of, right away. So it's gonna be good. Thanks for watching, hanging out with me today. May the Lord bless and keep you. Until next time.